I banned my son's girlfriend from my house. My son Jake is 22, and about a month and a half ago, he started bringing this girl Viv over to our place. The first time he mentioned bringing her, I went all out. Made lasagna, garlic bread, salad, the whole thing. I wanted to make a good impression because Jake seemed really into her. She showed up 40 minutes late. No text, no call. Just walked in while we were all sitting there with cold food on our plates. She didn't apologize or anything. Just sat down and started eating like nothing happened. I looked at Jake and he just shrugged. After dinner, everyone helped clean up like we always do. My husband grabbed plates. My younger son Cameron started loading the dishwasher. Jake was wrapping up leftovers. Viv just sat at the table scrolling on her phone. I figured maybe she was nervous or didn't know our routine yet, so I let it slide. For dessert, I had set up this thing where everyone decorates their own cupcakes. I put out different colored frostings and sprinkles and stuff. It's something we've done since the boys were little. Cameron was making some ridiculous design and Jake was helping his dad. I asked Viv if she wanted to join and she looked at me like I'd asked her to scrub the toilet. She said she wasn't really into that kind of thing and just took a plain cupcake and ate it on the couch. Then she started coming over every single day. At first I thought maybe they were just in that honeymoon phase where they want to be together all the time, but it became clear pretty fast that she wasn't coming over to hang out with Jake. She was coming over because we have food and air conditioning and her apartment apparently sucks. She'd text Jake during the day and ask what I was making for dinner. Then she'd request stuff. Like she'd be like, tell your mom to make those chicken tacos. Or can she do the pot roast again? Never a please. Never a thank you when she actually ate it. Just request like I was taking orders at a restaurant. Cameron noticed it first. He's 17 and honestly sometimes he's more observant than Jake. One night after Viv left he said, Mom, why doesn't she ever help clean up or bring anything? I said maybe she doesn't realize that's what we do here. He said she realizes. She just doesn't care. The next week Viv asked for my shepherd's pie. It takes like 2.5 hours to make and I'd had a long day at work, but Jake said she'd been talking about it all week, so I made it. She ate 2 servings, didn't say thank you, left her plate on the table, and went to watch TV. Cameron was loading the dishwasher, and he said out loud, not even to her, really just to the room in general, hey Viv, you know you could help out sometimes. She was sitting on the couch and she turned around and said, no ring, no wife duties. I stopped wiping down the counter. My husband looked up from the sink. Cameron just stood there holding a plate. Jake laughed like she was joking, but she wasn't laughing. She was dead serious. I didn't say anything that night, but I was pissed. The next day she came over again, asked for my chicken parmesan. I made it. Same thing happened. No help, no thanks. She sat on her phone the whole time after eating. This went on for another week. She kept coming over, kept requesting meals, kept doing absolutely nothing to contribute. My husband finally said to me in private, you know you don't have to cook for her every night. I said I know, but Jake really likes her and I don't want to cause problems. Then came the night that ended it. Viv texted Jake in the afternoon asking if I could make steak. We don't usually do steak on weeknights because it's expensive, but Jake said it was her birthday week, so could we do something nice? Fine. I went to the store, bought steaks, made mashed potatoes, roasted vegetables, even baked a small cake. She showed up an hour late. Again, we'd been waiting to eat. The steaks were getting cold. She walked in, no apology, sat down and started cutting into her steak. She took one bite and said, it's kind of dry. Can you make it more medium rare next time? Cameron dropped his fork. My husband put his hand on my arm like he knew what was coming. Jake said, Viv, come on, that's rude. She said, what, I'm just giving feedback. I stood up. I said, Viv, I've cooked for you almost every night for over a month. You've never once said thank you. You've never helped clean. You've never brought so much as a bag of chips. You show up late constantly. You make demands. And now you're sitting here criticizing a meal I spent money and time on that we made for your birthday. She looked at Jake like she expected him to defend her. He was just staring at his plate. She said, I didn't ask you to do all that. I said no, but you sure didn't stop me either. And when my son asked you to help out, you said no ring, no wife duties. So let me make this clear. You're not my daughter-in-law. You're not even a polite guest. You're banned. Don't come back.